Constant rotation, it's all about the wrist. I've been
There's only one hope.
It's some sort of constant rotation.
In theaters.
After reviews.
Viewer discretion is advised.
What's up? What's up? Welcome to After the Previews Reviews, first one of 2017. We're going to review the movie Split this weekend.
Yeah, I don't know what that was. But we are reviewing Split.
Yeah.
This is what we're doing.
Mixed reviews on this one for sure.
Yep.
I genuinely did not like this movie.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because I usually am the one that's like, I love this movie.
Kyle likes movies more than most people, but Kyle hated this movie more than most people. So I don't know. I have no gauge on this kid's fucking movie preference, but we'll get into that. What did you? This movie's directed by fucking M. Night Shyamalan, of course. It's about two to three. No, it's three. It's three females and they get abducted.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the non-spoiler section of this synopsis.
Pretty
as
much
far as they get abducted and there's a man who also
has multiple personalities.
Yeah, he has multiple personalities, and we'll leave it at that. That man's played by James McAvoy. The other three ladies in that movie, I do not know their names, which I can pull up for in a second. But I don't think that's the main focus, because this is honestly a James McAvoy performance held together by, I would say, some tension. But also there's a lot of, like, I don't think the movie was pitched to have so much supernatural in it as there was. I didn't expect that. I would definitely say that going into it, if there's something that you didn't know from the trailers.
I definitely saw all that in the trailers.
Oh, I didn't. I just saw that there's a guy who abducted some females and that there's some crazy shit happening and that clearly there is a greater threat at large, but I didn't think it was going to be a supernatural threat at large. So if there's something that you may want to know, there is a definite supernatural thing going on here. But as far as non-spoilers go, dude, I would say that this movie, I don't know, man. It flows. It definitely doesn't feel like it's 2 hours. I will give you that. This movie
was 4 hours.
Oh, dude, I felt like it was way shorter than 2 hours. But that's just how the cookie crumbles, I guess, when you're having fun. But yeah, the movie wasn't too long in my opinion, but it fucking definitely had moments where I didn't need to see. I felt like there was some fluff and a lot of repetition in the same, like, when you're condensed to the same setting of a house, because it is an abduction movie and it does take place in a house, like, you are kind of like, I felt like there needed to be more scenes of James McAvoy outside of the house in order to, or less of which would cut down the runtime. But either way, I didn't feel like there was too much fluff, but there was some fluff. I didn't think we needed to see the same themes and same tones kind of happen over and over, especially. But I think that's just a part of being in the same setting in a movie. But I would say 10 Cloverfield Lane did it a lot better as far as, like, trapped movies go.
What do you think about the storyline?
What do you mean?
Like, how do you like the way the story played out, like the writing and the way it was executed, the way
I think the dialogue was fine.
Together.
There was some dialogue where you're just like, oh my god, this is a Shyamalan movie. Like, you can still feel that because he does have very, like, dry dialogue, and it's like sometimes doesn't feel like that's how a real person interacts with people, or how that's how a real person talks.
That was my first interaction when we saw the movie, because we walked in a little bit late, like we missed maybe the first 5 to 10 minutes. I guarantee that we didn't miss anything that really serviced the plot any differently than what we were to experience. So, but the first thing that I saw when we walked in was the girls, not the main girl, but the two extra girls talking to each other and, like, reacting, and just the way that they were talking and the way that they were saying their lines, like, it just didn't feel real at all.
Yeah. Definitely. So, I can definitely say that most of those problems that I had did fall on the female side. They're the worst actors in the movie, but that's not their fault, because there's 4 actors.
Yeah, there's not that many actors in the movie.
So it's like, I mean, there's multiple characters, but it's all played by one actor. So it's like that obviously takes up the screen time. So it's like, I don't think they did a bad job. They're just serviceable for the roles. Like, they get the job done for what you need to have done from them.
See, I don't like that idea though. Like, that they just did okay enough. Like,
No, I'm saying they did fine. Like, I think they're good, but I just think there wasn't like anything. The film isn't written around them. Like, the film isn't written for them to shine at all. That's not the point. The film is written for 3 random girls to come into this role. You're not going to bring in Emma Stone as one of these girls.
Like, believable.
They did. They definitely are serviceable to that extent, but there's nothing. I mean, yeah, but that's your reflection of the art. But I'm saying that I feel like they at least did what they could with the role. There wasn't like any moment where any of those girls had a point to show gravitas for the character and really let the audience know. Whereas James McAvoy had monologue after monologue after character, and after moment after moment to where you can understand with what he's doing. So whether or not they did a good job to make you believe it, that's fine. But I don't think that's necessarily the actor's fault. I think that was in the writing. I think that's how the whole film is centered around this one person, and that's to a fault in a lot of cases, in my opinion.
So, like, but then if an actor only has like a few lines in a movie, then it doesn't matter how they deliver them.
That's not what I said.
No, but that's what I mean. Like, what I'm trying to say is the way that they deliver these lines, like, it just didn't feel good. It didn't feel real. It just felt like.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, I didn't see that, but okay.
Yeah. Like,
why do you feel that way?
Because it was just like, we have to get out of here. But there's like there felt like there wasn't any emotion in those lines. Like, the way that they were saying it, like, I didn't believe that they were trying to get out. Like, it just sounded like they were just saying things that someone told them to say. But I mean, they were, but you're not supposed to have that feeling when you watch it.
Yeah.
So that's just what I felt when I was watching the movie. I mean, that's not like, I'm not saying you're wrong. No,
I'm not offended.
Yeah.
That's your opinion. I didn't feel that way. Let us know what you thought, though, as far as how those 3 girls performed. I should probably pull up their fucking real names in the actress world. But do you want to add anything to the non-spoilers before I kind of close it out? Anna Taylor-Joy is one of them.
She's the Scream Queen.
She's the main one. Yeah, I guess.
She's like the modern Scream Queen. That's what everyone's calling her on the internet.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's cool. Anna Taylor-Joy, Betty... No, that's still the same girl. Haley Lou Richardson and Jessica Sula. And those are the 3 girls. And then Betty Buckley, who's from The Village. She was like the psychiatrist who kind of gave us the breaks that I was talking about. That was like the narrative away from the house for the most part of the movie.
Yeah.
But as far as non-spoilers go,
she was all right. She did
fine.
Had a good performance.
Yeah, I still just kept seeing her as that stupid Village chick. So.
I haven't seen The Village in so long. I don't remember her.
Yeah. Well, it was like I haven't seen that actress since The Village. So it was more like I haven't thought of The Village, but it was like, oh, why do I know you? Oh, you're from another Shyamalan movie.
Gotcha.
Shyamalan's in the movie himself, too. He plays
like analyst or some shit.
I think this movie, to close out, if you are leaving us, because you should watch this review after you've seen the movie itself. But if you haven't seen the movie, and this is me trying to tell you why you should see it, first of all, the fact that Kyle's so against it means that there's definitely some art here to make people feel some type of way, regardless of if it's positive or negative. The fact that it's able to get my friends so pissed off.
I just want to make clear. I'm not like offended by the movie. I'm offended by the idea.
Did I say offended?
No. But like the way, like what you mean by like, I'm agreeing with you that it made me feel some type of way. But like,
I don't know what to label it as.
No,
it's
offended.
I didn't mean to say offended.
I'm offended.
Okay,
but
cool.
I'm not offended by the content of the movie. It's not like that. I'm offended that I went to the movie thinking that this was going to be so good on like all the great marketing that they must have had. I thought this was going to be a really good movie. I paid money for it and I want my money back. I mean, I'm that kind of offended.
Yeah. All right. But if, like I said, if there's one thing, if it's not that alone, I want you to go see The Split, make your own opinion. But James McAvoy does act his ass off.
He was great.
M. Night Shyamalan doesn't. Kyle will still say that. Let me finish my point, Kyle. I know this is where it gets confusing because if I can't make a point, then I don't know where we're gonna go with this. But I haven't seen The Visit. But I will say, I know you say The Visit's good, but that's why you're counting. That's the counter to this point that I'm about to make. But I haven't seen The Visit, so that excluded. This is the best movie Shyamalan's made in fucking 10 years, so since like Signs, so there's a positive
That one
there.
wasn't good either.
Signs is great. Fuck you. That's so
Why
good.
would
That's
the
more of a
aliens
guilty
come
pleasure.
to-
That's more of a guilty pleasure. I get it. There's a lot of semantics is something that you got to let go with video games, and I think movies sometimes. And Shyamalan's movie is just like a big old like video game plot put into like live
It wasn't
action.
thought out enough.
No, I'm saying that's what a video game plot is. That's what I'm saying. Every Shyamalan movie is like that. So if you just know that at the door, it makes it the whole
If I
experience
just know that
easier.
at the door, then
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, well, this movie's gonna suck.
Kyle, you just
story-wise.
paid to see a Shyamalan movie, so I don't know what you thought you were gonna see based on
I
shit.
thought maybe I'd get another village or not village visit where I'm like, hey, that could happen. I'm down with
Yeah, but
that.
that's like such a all right, man. Oh man, I can't discredit you for thinking that the last movie was good, so this movie's good. All right, touche. That's fine. I just think it's funny that us as a movie going audience sometimes are blind to like a whole filmography and just are like, what did you do for me lately? And that's totally how the business is. Where like a shitty director can be so bad, but if M. Night Shyamalan got attached to Green Lantern tomorrow, I would be happy because I like Split, and that's so weird.
See, I'd be
Yeah, I
mad
know, but
because,
that's
like,
so
I
fucking
saw
weird.
The Last Airbender.
I know. In reality, I probably would overthink it, and you would pitch me it, and then I'd be like, yeah, I'm dumb. But I'm just saying that like we are in such an era where it's like, what have you done for me lately? The Visit was good, but you can admit that even Signs wasn't good, and that's better than After Earth, and that's worse than fucking. I can't even name some. The Village is bad, dude. You can't deny that. Lady in the
After Earth
Water,
was worse.
terrible. Lady in the Water. The only
I
good
didn't
thing
even
is
see that
James
one.
McAvoy, and if there's any good thing about this is bringing them back to an actual good movie because
James McAvoy
he
was
called him
good in
out.
this.
He found him at an early age, bro.
Yeah.
Like he was the guy who was like, James McAvoy, you're in my movies now. I'm gonna carry you on. We got you for a little bit. Happening. That was the other shitty ass movie.
Oh,
Fucking
God.
A, dude.
God.
I saw a clip earlier of what's his name talking to a fern. In that movie,
Mark Wahlberg.
Oh my god, man, that shit was painful to
Fern.
watch. I forgot about.
Yeah,
all
no,
about
that was arguably one of his worst movies and one of Zoe Deschanel's worst movies.
that. Score for you, Kyle. Non-spoiler.
Fucking one.
All right,
1 out
I'm
of
giving
10.
it a solid 6 out of
You
10.
want the real full on reason why I'm giving it a 1 out of 10. Keep up because I got
Yeah, well,
I got a lot
that
of shit to say about
discloses
this.
the non-spoiler review of Split. As we split up this review,